Hello, everybody. Welcome to LinkedIn Live with Steve White. I hope everybody is doing well today on this beautiful Wednesday. I'm actually in beautiful Philadelphia, but it's not beautiful right now. But thank you for joining us today. This was originally scheduled for Monday, but there were technical difficulties in this world of technology. You always have to adjust. And so I'm glad we're able to connect on LinkedIn Live with Steve White. I often get questions around, Steve, what if I don't get promoted? Or what if I'm not reaching my full potential in my current assignment? So today's LinkedIn Live is focused on 3 ways to fail forward. Because in life, there's really nothing called losing. You're either winning or you're learning. So there's no such thing as losing. So today we're going to talk about 3 ways to fail forward. And I recently co-authored an article in USA Wire talking about what you should do if you don't get promoted. But before I get into that, let me just first of all to say thank you to everyone who is out supporting my new book. Uncompromising, as everyone knows, was formally released on Tuesday, March 8th. The response has been very, very positive. Thank you, everyone who's posting the book on their social media platform, that are writing positive reviews on Amazon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been a life's journey for me, and the book is all about serving my why, which is to create a table of prosperity for as many people as possible. And that's what I hope my book will do. So if you purchased a book, please write a review. If you haven't purchased it, please go purchase it. But also, if you think others in your life, whether it's teammates, colleagues, family members, if you believe that they will be blessed with this book, please buy for them as well. So thank you again for all the support. We're on an exciting journey as we move forward. So let's get into today's topic here on LinkedIn Live with Steve White. 3 ways to fail forward. Now, I'm going to give you more than 3 because we're always trying to overachieve. And this is how you succeed by failing forward. So let's say you are not reaching what you believe is your full potential, or you're not getting the right assignments, or you're not getting promoted, or maybe you just missed out on a promotion. Here are the steps that I found that have worked for me, because this happened to me a couple of times where I thought I was ready for a big job and I didn't get it. Doesn't matter when it happened, but it's still fresh in my mind, but I used it again as a learning opportunity. The first step is, if you don't get a promotion or you feel that you're not growing at the level you should, the first thing is get clarity. And that's getting clarity with yourself. And what I mean by that is, what is my personal why? What am I trying to accomplish? Where am I trying to go? I'm going to take a long-term view. And why do I feel slighted because I didn't get that job or that opportunity? Is that my ego talking, or is it because, man, I really thought that job was going to be perfect as I served my why? It's very important to get clarity around what you're trying to do and how it matches maybe with the opportunity that you missed out on. So get clarity. That's what I like to call having a nice long conversation with yourself and digging deep. Hopefully that makes sense, because here's the perspective I try to take. Is you're a company. I work for Steve White Incorporated. Comcast purchases my services, and I'm very excited about that. And you should be as well if you work for Comcast or any other company. But remember, you're chairman and CEO of your company, so you're taking a long-term view. You're not looking short-term. You're looking long-term, getting clarity around the vision that you've set for yourself. And does this opportunity truly fit with what you're trying to do? And if so, then you go to the next step. But if you decide in that first step, you know what, I really didn't think that was in line with what I am trying to do, whatever I'm trying to take my company, then you stop there. But let's get past point 1. If you really believe that was an opportunity that fits your personal why and where you're trying to take your company, then number 2 is you go talk to your boss. and you go talk to your boss and say, look, let's talk about what I would like to accomplish, how I think I can help the company, and gain feedback from your boss. Don't assume anything. Maybe they have another plan for you. Maybe there's another opportunity coming down the road. So don't sit in silence and start creating stories in your own head. Go seek out your boss, have an honest and frank conversation, and hopefully you've developed that relationship with your boss that you can go in and have that kind of conversation. Number 3 is get an honest assessment. Part of talking to your boss is to say, tell me where my strengths and weaknesses are. Where am I missing something? And then you probably have your colleagues. I call them my kitchen cabinet, my colleagues and others that I regularly go to for feedback. So get an honest assessment. First, self-evaluate yourself and get an honest assessment of where your strengths are, where your developmental needs are, etc. Now, let me share this with you. I once had a boss. It was hard for me to get feedback from him. Maybe you've experienced this as well. It was hard for me to get feedback from this boss. So what I started doing is I start writing him a letter every month or so and saying, look, here's where I think I'm doing well. Here's where I think my opportunities are. If you agree, then I'll place this in my file as I prepare for our annual review. And usually that will draw your boss out to participate with you in giving you feedback, either acknowledging, yes, you're on the right track, or you're not. Here are a couple of other areas that you should work on. But here's the most significant thing about that. You're showing proactiveness. You're showing that you're self-aware of your strengths and your developmental opportunities. So even in that case, you might get feedback that you weren't expecting, but at least you're getting it, but you're also establishing yourself as a proactive leader. Hopefully that makes sense. So get clarity, talk to your boss, and then do an honest assessment of where you are. Now, we talked about 3 ways to fail forward, but we're overachievers here. Let me give you a couple more. So then once you get all of that information, once you've gained clarity around the vision for your company, you've talked to your boss, you now step back with your colleagues, teammates, whoever you trust, whoever your truth tellers are in your circle, you've now done an honest assessment. And my sense is if there's an honest assessment, 2 or 3 things have been identified of where you can step your game up. So then number 4, got it, develop a plan. Now, the first trap most people get into, they develop a plan only focused on the developmental opportunities. Don't fall into that trap. Your plan should encompass, how can I accentuate my positives? How can I make those strengths even more stronger, even a greater strength, so I can really differentiate myself from others while managing the developmental opportunities. So think about this. Think about it in a 70-30 split. 70% of your time should be on accentuating the positives, the things that you do really well, and 30% on those developmental needs, so you neutralize those, but the real value you bring is with the strengths. Hopefully that makes sense, because oftentimes when people get feedback, and it's happened to me, I will disproportionately spend time on the 2 or 3 developmental things and not enough time on my strengths, because with just a little bit of effort and time, I can make those even stronger. So hopefully that makes sense. Maybe it's 70-30, maybe it's 75-25. You can determine that, but don't go overboard only focusing on your developmental opportunities. Continue to find a way to develop those strengths. And then number 5, and this is really, really important. As part of that conversation with the boss and your colleagues, and maybe your boss's boss, what is the definition of success in your current assignment? Then go crazy and make an impact and blow those expectations off the table. So if the goal here is to do A, B, and C, part of your plan is how can you do A, B, C, and add a little D, add a little E, add a little F on there, because now you're making an impact. You're going beyond the expectations, and that's how you start to differentiate yourself. So number one, get clarity. So if you 3 ways to fail forward, but we're cheating because we're overachievers here. Number one, get clarity. Number 2, have that frank, honest conversation with your boss. Number 3, get truth tellers around you so you can develop an honest assessment of where you are, where your developmental needs are. Then number 4, develop a plan, but don't focus all your energies just on the developmental needs. Leave a little space and time so you can accentuate your positives, your strengths, because that's how you really make a difference. And that should be in part of your plan. And then number 5, once you have a definition of what success looks like, so when the next opportunity comes, you're going to get it, is if it's A, B, and C, and that's what success looks like, then your focus is A, B, C, and add a little D, add a little E, add a little F. And that's how you really start to make an impact as you move forward. And the final part of that, making an impact, is not only are you doing your job and you're doing an A, B, C, and a D, E, and F, if there are other opportunities and challenges for the company, volunteer and find a way where you can run to the biggest challenges that the company is facing. And that allows you to really make a difference. As I start to wrap up, I'll share this story with you. At Comcast, a place I've worked for 20 plus years, we really, maybe 7-8 years ago, we really said customer experience is ultimately going to be our best product. And I remember Neil Smith at the time, and then Dave Watson, who was our COO, who eventually became our CEO. They really focused on this idea of making customer experience our best product. And I believe that. And I think that makes all the sense in the world. Boy, in the West Division, we ran to that. We thought that was fantastic. And we put a lot of energy and effort and really helped lead the company in this important area of customer experience while doing our day job as well. So that's where I want you to think about. So get clarity, talk with your boss, honest assessment, develop a plan, and then how are you going to make an impact? How are you going to go beyond A, B, and C so you can add a little D, E, and F there? So in life, there's no such thing as losing. You're winning or you're learning. You're always learning, even when you're winning. But it's no such thing as losing. So 3 ways to fail forward. I gave you 5 because we're overachievers. So I wish you the best on your journey. I hope your company continues to grow and succeed, and I hope you have fantastic success as we go away. Thank you for joining LinkedIn Live with Steve White, and thank you for the support with my new book, Uncompromising. Have a great day, everybody.